Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who were pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and saving the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh. And salutation to the sincere Akim that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. And more beautiful news is coming out in these past few days, and these have been exciting and in great times. These are the times that we have truly been looking forward to. Alright, so what we have here is your feast days, your mirth, and your wicked holidays are officially cancelled. And I'm speaking about the 2 days right now. Because we are living in heavily prophetic times, and the Most High is doing a beautiful work in the earth. And recently I was just walking around, especially when I was going to work, and I realized that nobody is putting up all these Christmas decorations. Because normally before Christmas even starts, even during middle October, that's when it actually starts. Right, during middle October, you have people already putting up Christmas decorations, putting up a giant Christmas tree, especially for businesses. Putting up all those Christmas lights, putting up the Merry Christmas, the Santa Claus, the reindeers, and all that shit. But now, it's November already. Already like 4 days into November, and you don't see any of that. People have Christmas is basically an afterthought to most people. Because you always have some people that are the exception and try to actually still push for this Christmas and try to act as if everything is still normal. This is just Yahweh Shai at work, man. Yes. So let me just get into this article. Police will enter homes and break up Christmas dinners if families break lockdown rules, and there will be riots, predicts police commissioner. Alright, so that leads me to that brings you to some that actually makes me think of some precepts. Like for example, because right now you have this lockdown heavily affecting Europe. All the major cities are locked down. The brother just put out a video about how Greece, you basically have to call your local law enforcement before you can leave your house. Paris was completely locked down to the point where majority of the people that were there, left the city. So these are the things that were coming into 2 Esdras 15 verse 7. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's what you see going on right now. Cities are completely desolate. And then because of all these lockdowns, because of people not being able to go where they want to go, you have riots, you have lootings, you have protests. All right, and these are these are the prophecies that we've been warning people about happening right now. You say what you want to say about anything that's happening in Europe, but that's being locked down and being forced to contact law enforcement before you can even leave your house, and law enforcement breaking into your house and separating, and arresting you for gathering too many people into your house. That is martial law. Alright, so that's the time that we're coming into right now. Coming into the time of martial law, the time of FEMA camps, the time of being thrown into prison. The time of Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. And the time of 2 Esdras, the 16th chapter. I forget the exact verse. So let me just quickly go to that. Where it says there shall be great insurrection against those that fear the Most High. So I can't find. I don't remember where it is where I know it's in 2 Esdras 16. Alright, so let me just quickly jump to that. And just type it on the search engine. Okay, it is 2 Esdras 16 verse 17. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. And that's the times that are coming into right now. Esau is about to bring down his wrath on everybody, not just the elect, but also the 2/3 as well. And Barakata Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh, Bashim Rakakwadash. We're getting closer and closer to the kingdom with every passing day. The prophecies are starting to become more and more apparent with every passing day. Right? And it's just a matter of time before the military gets involved in this situation. But when the protests and the riots that will happen, in fact, Slovakia, they are already happening. When these things start getting heavier and heavier, right, the military, it has to involve the military, and it's just a matter of time before it flows into America, Babylon the Great, especially if Joe Biden wins. Now that the elections are going forth, I don't know. I don't sure that I've finished tallying up the votes, but anyway, these are exciting times. The Most High is truly visiting you people, man. No more wicked pagan rituals under the guise of serving the Lord, and I put that in quotes. No more using the scriptures in wickedness. So let me just go through this article a little bit before I get more scriptures. I don't know how this stuff works. Okay, yeah, it is. Police chiefs have warned that Christmas holiday celebrations will be broken up by officers if they flout lockdown rules. David Jamieson of the West Midland Police and Crime Commissioner said officers will investigate reports of rule breaking over the festive period. And the West Midlands are currently under Tier 2 restrictions, meaning people cannot mix with any other households or bubbles inside. Right, Mr. Jameson told the Telegraph, if we think there's large groups of people gathering where they shouldn't be, then the police will have to intervene. If again there's a flagrant breaking of the rules, then the police will have to enforce. It's not the police job to stop people enjoying their Christmas. However, we are there to enforce the rules that the government makes. And if the government makes those rules, then the government has to explain that to the public. I know this is all done under the assumption, right, that you have know that all hell won't break loose before Christmas, because the way things are going, before you even get to that point where you can celebrate Christmas, shit would have already hit the fan. I know this isn't just an isolated incident, because even in other European countries, like for example, I have this one for Germany, in which the German Prime Minister, Meghan Markle, and it reads, Merkel tells Germans that they won't be able to have New Year's parties and social contacts will be restricted for all of the winter to tackle coronavirus. Right, so you can see the Most High is just cancelling all these holidays all around, and I expect the true spirit and power Yahweh, just me speaking as a man, that this will probably happen in all the earth, because going back to the lockdowns, when they originally started, nobody could go out, nobody could go to those whorehouses to do their week to they defile themselves, like they usually do. Even though that are slowly, even though all those bans have slowly been lifted. Now we're going. This is just a sign that we're coming back to that. You're going into that second wave. That second wave of lockdown, which will hit during this holiday season. Right, and once again, Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yawashai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. So let me just read this article and I'll get some scriptures and close out. Angela Merkel has told Germans that they can't have New Year's Eve parties and social contact will be restricted for all of the winter to tackle coronavirus. The Chancellor warned the light at the end of the tunnel is a long way off on the first day of a 4-week lockdown, which shutter bars, theaters, gyms, and cinemas. Merkel said the success of the November lockdown would be crucial in dictating Germany's next steps and that she hoped for a turnaround. But the 66-year-old ruled out lavish New Year's Eve parties, as she said it will be a Christmas under corona conditions, but it should not be a lonely Christmas. Germany has joined Spain, Belgium, Greece, and France in imposing second national lockdowns. There are also increased restrictions in Italy. Alright, so let me get some precepts. Now start from the book of Isaiah. That's the heavy chapter right there, Isaiah 24. Trying to find out what parts of it I'll use. I'm just going to use a little bit of it. Can't go into everything, but this is a beautiful chapter and it should be read. If you brothers have any free time, you Akim or you have any free time, you should actually read this chapter. Alright, Isaiah 24 verse 5, and it reads, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. And this is all the things that Esau, especially has done, and all these heathens they support it, especially when Christianity talks about how everybody can be saved. That's they're trying to break that everlasting covenant that the Most High had made with Jacob, with that replacement doctrine nonsense. Right, change the ordinance. Especially you see that especially with the Catholic Pope talking about amending the Ten Commandments. And even if you read the Catholic Ten Commandments, it's different from the one that is written up in Exodus 20 and Deuteronomy chapter 5. So you see how Esau is trying to change the laws of the Most High, but that is what is written up in the book of Second Thessalonians. He that exalted himself as the Most High, claiming to be Sake. I have to go to that. Sake. I can't remember how it goes. Second Thessalonians. I realize that. Here it is. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. Now starts from verse 4. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God seated in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that is what Esau is doing in this time, by trying to change all these laws which Yahweh has put using his own authority. Alright, trying to make himself like the Most High by changing these laws. And it's all just the pride of Esau, which that pride, as he just says, the pride of Timan shall be cast down. I believe that's how it says it. So this is the book of Isaiah 24, and I'll continue from verse 6. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, and all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. That's right. And come the end of this election, you will have that situation, that exact same situation, because the elections aren't even over, and there's already unrest. There's already starting to see people are already starting to see violence in their streets. People are already boarding up their houses, blocking down their shops, locking their stores and shops down, because they know they are anticipating the violence that's about to come up, that is about to come. They're anticipating anticipating the riots and the lootings. They're really anticipating second Esdras 15. And let me also go to that, that a man shall rise up against another with swords in their hands. Let me go to that, second Esdras 15. I believe that is the 19th chapter. Okay, it is. Second Esdras 15 verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Not even going into the famine that's about to come because of all these lockdowns, things that, and then of course this November, this could be this November and December, this could be the year that they start rolling out that microchip. So you see how many prophecies are coming together. You still have the plagues upon the earth, the pandemic, and with the pandemic, COVID-19, even though it was engineered, it's doing its work perfectly. And then you have families that will be caught by these lockdowns. So people will be lacking bread, and then they'll start spoiling the houses of their neighbors. So now you have sedition among men, you have violence, you have lockdowns, you have riots and looting, you have men fighting against each other, you'll have Egyptian against the Egyptians, which is already happening on a heavy level. So you see all these prophecies are coming to pass all at the same time. And with the way that YouTube is going right now, I can see the coming of the world happening in all these things happening just in this year alone. Right, so let me get my final preset so I can just close this out. These are beautiful and exciting times. These are the times that we have been waiting for. These are the things. This is the kind of situation where you see all these things happening. You think you rejoice because you know that our salvation is drawing nearer and nearer and nearer. This is the time to tighten up and wake out of sleep, as Scripture says. Alright, Jeremiah verse 16 verse 9, and it reads, For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth, the voice and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. And with that, I'm going to end it here. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash, Wa Abad, Babal. And through the Spirit, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Shalom.